Serbian Prime Minister resigns amid mass protests over railway collapse. Arm News. Belgrade. Serbian Prime Minister Milos Vucevic has resigned following months of nationwide protests triggered by the deadly collapse of a railway station canopy in Novi Sad. Vucevic stated that his resignation aimed to avoid further complicating things and not raise tensions in society. His decision comes after continuous mass demonstrations demanding accountability for the incident that claimed 15 lives in November. Public outrage and nationwide protests since the tragedy. Tens of thousands of Serbians have taken to the streets, condemning corruption and negligence.
I am sure that this must initiate a dialogue in society, that someone from the rectors and deans and everyone else must start talking, and that this is very important, and that opening a dialogue can also mean the beginning of healing our society.
Students have led the protests, blocking traffic and universities for months. A recent general strike saw many workers stay off their jobs, while December witnessed one of the largest demonstrations in Belgrade, with an estimated 100,000 participants.
This process is like cleaning a house. When you start cleaning, you have to create a total mess, so that you can tidy everything up. It's the same with our country. We hope for that, and we are ready for anything.
I think the only answer to the demands is for this government to fall. So until the government falls, and I think Mr. Vucic is well aware of this, the conditions will not be met.
Tensions escalated further when ruling party supporters attacked.
I have taken the irrevocable decision to resign as Prime Minister of the Republic of Serbia. I had a long meeting this morning with the President of the Republic. We talked about everything. We talked about this, and he accepted my decision. He accepted my arguments.
And injured a female student during a protest in Novi Sad. In response, President Aleksandar Vucic announced a government reshuffle and pledged to pardon students and university tutors facing charges related to the protests. Political fallout and future uncertainty. More than a dozen individuals, including former Transport Minister Goran Vucic, have been charged over the railway collapse. Meanwhile, Novi Sad Mayor Milan Đurić has also resigned to address protesters' demands. President Vucic, who holds significant power in Serbia, is now considering 3 or 4 names for the next prime minister but remains open to other suggestions. He is also weighing the possibility of early parliamentary elections if a new leader is not appointed within 30 days. Opposition parties are pushing for a transitional government to ensure fair elections, a demand Vucic has rejected. He also floated the idea of an advisory referendum on his leadership, stating he would step down if he lost the vote. Will protests continue? Vucevic's resignation is a notable development, but whether it will satisfy the mostly young demonstrators remains uncertain. With the ruling Serbian Progressive Party firmly in control of the media and political landscape, a shift in power appears unlikely. The coming days will determine if the protests lose momentum or if Serbia remains in a state of political turmoil.